So I have been revisiting my Vipassana meditation course, 10 days in California, 25 years ago. My first, yet on the 8th day in the afternoon, something happened that changed my life, dedicating to live my life sincerely, truthfully, with the idea like, may all beings be happy. This bozo, me, moving around. Anyway, let's finish, maybe a couple more. So I was reflecting, and there are a few more items that is in the reflection. So one is the guy named Yanabira, is a handle name, and he is one of the reasons of my doing this Vipassana, because he and I met in the web, and he looked very, very respectful and compassionate. So I dug into it, and then the history. Anyway, you hear the suggestions by him. I don't remember if this happened, but that's what it says. Wake up early in the morning and go to bed not late at night. People should have enough sleep time to assure the re-energy of the body. It is a law of anicca. Eat healthy food 3 times a day with balance of quality and quantity. Meditate at least 3 hours a day in the same time, same places, preferably. I didn't do that. I told you I did perhaps 1 hour a day, but sometimes splitting up. Anyway, things changed afterward, but that's what's his suggestion. I prefer, that's the Yanabira, after waking up and before lunch or dinner. Do usual activities, gardening or walking, while doing mindfulness. Seeing and listening in real meaning is to see and listen to everything without any filters. I like that. To see the scenery directly requires the humble nature of a little child. Agree. To see the mountain in an evening, a distant pines in the mist, if you see for the first time you see, as you have not seen before, as a baby who just opened his eyes, free from anything, then the activity of seeing becomes a very natural experience. Key learning and impressions. The good balance among theory, practice, and varieties of anecdotes brought a strong learning and check and balance process for me to appreciate greatly. As much as I used to do management seminars and training for managers, I found the balance and timing of the course process quite fitting. Various people, including those with no knowledge of Buddha's teaching, went through this course, receiving what appeared to be the maximum benefit in my eyes. Second point, the importance of observing myself, know thyself, became apparent if I were to have awakening life. No question. This is the point I felt before as I was going on this path for so much time, but became much clearer at the experiential level. The realization is not just in the brain anymore, it is strongly embedded in my mind-body system. Third point. Intellectual understanding and grasping the truth by direct experience are almost like 2 different things. Totally. Yeah. 2 dimensions, mind and the body, or the heart. As inmates from India commented, the unarguable sense of lifting the psychological burden indicates the difference between intellectual and living wisdom. Intellectual activity is important for us to be human, but by itself we cannot liberate ourselves. We have to work at the deepest mind-body level. It is the same as reading books or listening to someone speaking hundreds of times cannot help us learn swimming. We need to jump into the water and start to swim. For me, swimming was not that easy, but the sense of progress is there. We need to keep swimming. The names we put are not important. We need to experience. The fourth point. One of the main learning is tied to pragmatic experiential learning. This is contrasted to a habitual thinking and behavior patterns where we do not have a quiet time to see what is going on in ourselves for any length of time. A course like this offers a period without interruption to quietly look at ourselves and study our behavior. This vivid difference helps us to compare what is different now and what has been realized compared to what we did not realize about ourselves before. For example, I thought of law of multiplication and sila, moral conduct, after the course, when some small incident happened to me. We need to eradicate the error on the spot if such impure thoughts are raised in our mind and or simply conduct life like in the course if we were to be pure without unnecessary burden. Compared to the pure experience and dedicated effort to liberate us as we did in the course, now I see such a process of creating misery in our life can happen if we don't follow the sila at the very experiential level. Sixth point. I think this is an example of living with Dharma, the laws of nature, I would like to put it. It is Sila Samadhi Panya, practiced in daily life. So far as we are sensitive to our sensation, this wisdom will show up more like our heart whispering to us. If we see such a thing happening after the course, we should reconfirm the principal way and continue working on purifying our mind. Shila Samadhi Panya and awareness and equanimity should be practiced on an ongoing basis. Last point. If I reflect back the blissful sense that I got out of the course, I see some generic symptoms. 1. My body was happy to unload the error in my mind-body system. This was accompanied with blissful sensation, as if my whole body was showing happiness. 2. I saw the logic and process that works to become a happy being. It is related to the program of mind-body. That is, what causes right living and what does not. 3. There is learning that happens at the unconscious level. This is the amazing part if we have this in the right direction to purify our mind. So far as I am letting this proceed as good karma, so to speak, the wheel of Dharma is in motion toward blissful, liberated life. 4. With the understanding of these and practice, we can cultivate a good nature in us while sharing the insights with others in various means. 5. And the last one. There is a sense of being on the right path we sense from within when the process is moving in the right direction. We can use such a sense as a yardstick to conduct our life. Yeah, that's the sense I was referring to, like aliveness. energy welling up, that you are in the right direction instead of not having such a sense. The daily practice and every single moment we correctly handle the situation will enrich our life. So that was my reflection and learning point. And previous was my friend I met on the net from Myanmar. He must be doing this very deeply, in many years perhaps. Now, there are some words from Mr. Goenka. When the mind is free of conditioning, I guess I'm just putting this just as a reminder, key reminder from the books and stuff like that. When the mind is free of conditioning, it is always full of love, pure love, and you feel happy, you feel peaceful and happy. I like to say that's the state of me being in the eternal home, full of love, feel peaceful and happy. That's page 20, Art of Living, the book by Goenka and William Hart. Another comment. Nobody and no events causes suffering to you. You cause suffering to yourself by generating tensions in the mind. If you know how not to do that, it becomes easy to remain peaceful and happy in every situation. That's taken from page 30 of the same book. Personal realization of truth will automatically change the habit pattern of the mind, so that one starts to live according to the truth. Every action becomes directed toward one's own good and the good of others, helping yourself, helping others. Page 33. Next and the last comment from Goenka. This is the pamphlet I found. It's called The Value of Dhamma Service. Those who practice Vipassana start realizing the law of nature according to which actions of the body or speech that cause harm to others will also harm those who commit them, while actions that help others will bring peace and happiness to those who perform them. Thus, helping others is also helping oneself. Well, here's the last piece. Keep on learning while serving others. This is like a work you do at the center. I did this several times. And then you have a schedule to sit together with the group. And you can talk with those people who are donating their time to cook meals and do various things for the center to function. Keep on learning while serving others humbly. Keep thinking, I'm here in training to practice serving without expecting anything in return. Here are some words from the Buddha. Yeah. A few more minutes. So Buddha's discourse to Kalama people. Do not be led by reports, tradition, the authority of religious text, nor by mere logic or speculation, standpoints, seemingly possibilities, nor by the idea, this is our teacher. But when you know for yourself that certain things are unwholesome and wrong and bad, then give them up. And when you know for yourself that certain things are wholesome and good, then accept them and follow. Very pragmatic. Insight is the penetrative understanding by direct meditative experience of impermanence, unsatisfactory, and impersonality of all material and mental phenomena of existence. It is insight that leads to entrance into the super-mundane states of holiness and to final liberation. Yanatiloka is the source. I think it's the kind of sutra. Next one. Whatever suffering arises has a reaction as its cause. If all reactions cease to be, then there is no more suffering. Sutta Nipata 3-12. Art of Living, page 38. Those who continuously make efforts to direct their awareness toward the body, who abstain from unwholesome actions and strive to do what should be done, such people, awake with full understanding, are freed from their defilement. That's Dhammapata 21:4. Also in Art of Living, page 150. There are these 5 rewards in listening to Dhamma. Which 5? 1. One hears what one has not heard before. 2. One clarifies what one has heard before. 3. One gets rid of doubt. 4. One's views are made straight. 5. One's mind grows serene. These are the 5 rewards in listening to Dhamma. AN 202. I don't know what that stands for. Okay, this is the last one. A little long. Unflagging persistence was aroused in me, and a muddled mindfulness established. My body was calm and aroused, my mind concentrated and single, quite withdrawn from sensuality, withdrawn from unskillful mental qualities. I entered and remained in the field of jhana, rapture, pleasure born from withdrawal, accompanied by direct thought and evaluation. With a stilling of direct thought and evaluation, I entered and remained in the second jhana, rapture, pleasure, born of composure, unification of awareness, free rapture, free from direct thought and evaluation, internal assurance. With the fading of rapture, I remain in equanimity, mindful, alert, and physically sensitive of pleasure. I entered and remained in the third jhana. This is like a level of the meditation, of which the noble ones declare, equanimous and mindful, he has a pleasurable abiding. With the abandoning of pleasure and pain, you see, not seek your pleasure, it just happens, the bliss. Anyway, with the abandoning of pleasure, or maybe drinking a drug or something. Sorry, what did I say? With the abandoning of pleasure and pain, yeah, that's really critical. As with the earlier disappearance of elation and distress, I entered and remained in the fourth jhana, purity of equanimity and mindfulness, neither pleasure nor pain. I like to call it the eternal home. Ignorance was destroyed, knowledge arose, darkness was destroyed, light arose, as happens in one who is heedful, ardent, and resolute. MN 19. So maybe I do one more round, and I think next part, I call it the new beginning. For me, this is a refreshing experience. What a coincidence of this happening. That's 25 years ago. And I have recorded, and I can review it, I can feel it, and I know where I am, more or less, along with the road I took from then to here. Lots of affirmation, and I'm happy in the sense that I could have time to visit this report. Yes, at the time, I wanted to capture it before I forget. I knew I'd be forgotten all this stuff. Not everything, but it's interesting. I still remember on the way back from the course, I was sitting next to this lady who we did the ride share. I keep writing, and telling her what I remember, and she may remember, whatever. But basically, I did that, and it's here. I shared with the assistant teacher. Thank you for your listening.